Are you tired of your heroes always getting hooked by the hooker? Or do you hate that all your teams always getting caught in the charms of the deity grill? Or are you annoyed that each time you hit Uranus, he gets stronger? Hi guys, Kazuki here, and in this video I will let you know how to counter all 18 tanks in Mlbb and shut them down like you shut down assassins and fighters after watching our previous videos on them. Question and answer round time. First question is from Jins, asking how do we come up with the ideas for content. Guys, it is your continuous love and support which motivates me to research extensively to bring out new content. Second question is from Bino, asking if there is any update on Hanzo collector skin. Sadly, there is no update for Hanzo's skin. It's been a long time when he last received his skin. Drop your questions and keep an eye for the hidden codes in this video. So let's begin the counter for all the tanks. Also, I'm not including Diggy and Kerry as they are natural counters for most of the tanks. Let's start with the best tank, Layla.
I'm a joking!
Just kidding. Let's start with Daddy Tigreal. Tigreal is the true definition of a tank. He can take a lot of damage, he can hold you down with his huge hammer, and he can help his teammates in crucial situations. Usually to counter tanks in real life or in the game, you have to dish out the damage that the tank cannot withstand in real life. It would be anti-tank missiles which have high penetration and penetrate the tank's armor. And in game, it is penetration items and true damage. Tigreal truly shines with his CC skills. All of his skills have some type of CC, so keeping your distance is important. For build counters, I recommend Demon Hunter Sword, Malefic Roar, Genius Wand and Divine Glaive. For his counter, I recommend Akai, Ruby Martis and Valir. Next up is Akai, our Kung Fu Panda. Akai, our Beyblade that wins all Beyblade competitions. Akai also has some kind of CC in all of his skills. What makes Akai a monster is his ultimate. No other ultimate in game is a continuous knockback. What do you do when something is so powerful that you can't do anything, especially when pinned against a wall? You run when you can. Then your best bet is to keep your distance and strike back when his ultimate ends. For build counters, I recommend Sea Halberd, Demon Hunter Sword, Necklace of Durance. For heroes, I recommend Martis, Malisa, Kagura and Valir. Next up is our classic hooker, Franco. Franco, our lovely bearded Viking. Unfortunately, also an annoying hooker with his hooks and suppression range supreme on almost all heroes. To counter Franco, dodging his hooks are key, as it will stop you from being suppressed. Franco can be countered by good map awareness and dash skills. Keep your distance and be wary of his hooks. Bob and weave to make him miserable to play. For build counters, I recommend Demon Hunter Sword, Malefic Roar, Divine Glaive, Genius Wand. For hero counters, I recommend all heroes with good CC to cancel his suppress when he is ulting. Benedetta for immunity, Ruby and Mincy is a good option as they can cancel his suppression and pull him in. What to say, hookers hooking the hooker. Next up is Gatot Kacha. Gatot Kacha is one of my favorites and underrated tanks. What makes Gatot truly special is his ability to absorb and dish out damage at the same time. Gatot also has some kind of CC in all his skills. Gatot's ultimate is amazing as you can almost jump from one lane to another. Sustain is one of his biggest strengths, so don't drag fights with him, he will win. For build counters, I recommend Malefic Roar, Divine Glaive, Sea Halberd. For hero counter, Leslie, Valir and Alpha for true damage. Next up is the Ocean Atlas. Atlas is one of the only few heroes that can CC and reposition multiple enemies' heroes at the same time. Atlas with his ult shines. To counter Atlas, keeping your distance is important. and escape from his octopus when he comes, as he is most likely to ult you. For build counters, I recommend Malefic Roar and Winter Truncheon. For heroes, I recommend Kadita, Kagura, Ling, Lunox to immune his ultimate. Moving on to the Angry Cow Minotaur. Minotaur has one of the best ultimates in the game. He can knock up a huge area of enemies. It is difficult to counter him as his knock up area is huge. You have to either flicker away before he starts to ultimate or just be diggy. For build counters, I recommend Demon Hunter Sword, Malefic Roar, Divine Glaive. For heroes, I recommend Valir, Lunox, Lilia and Alpha. Next up is Lolita. Lolita is well-rounded tank with good CC and immune to all projectile from her skill 2. If you are a hero with many projectile skills, you have to wait for her skill 2 to run out and jump her afterwards. Her ultimate is also strong as it has large area, but you can easily escape from it because of her long charging duration. Though the Lolita in advanced server is a lot scary, you can check it out from the tag link. For build counters, Divine Glaive and Malefic Roar for penetration, and Sea Halberd and Necklace of Durance to reduce shield from her passive. For hero counters, heroes with knock-up effects like Chow and Nana's Morph works wonder against her ultimate. Also use Leslie and Alpha for true damage to outburst her shield. Moving on to Drunk Transformer, Johnson. Johnson is one of the most banned heroes in Epic. I wonder why. Johnson with his ultimate is scary if he lands it. But guys, it is very easy to dodge, just walk. It's not like he can magically come towards you. Don't ban him, ban Layla instead. Johnson is very easy to counter as he is weak to magic damage. And if he misses his ultimate on you and your teammates, you can easily jump back on him. For build counters, I recommend Malefic Roar, Necklace of Durance, Winter Truncheon. And for heroes, any heroes with good magic damage, and Esmeralda and Alpha for their thing. Next up is bush loving Lady Hilda. Hilda is one of the scary tanks with high burst in the early game. You guys have truly not witnessed her bush jumping skills. She can be effective as a tank in the late game, and her passive also is good as it gives her shield and regen in bushes. To counter Hilda, have good map awareness and try to stay out of her ultimate's range. For the build counters, I recommend Twilight Armor, penetrating items along with Demon Hunter Sword. For hero counters, you can use Dairod, Valir and Alpha. Next up is Grok. Grok is one of the strongest meta tanks. Grok is useful in almost every situation. His wall can block out enemies from a certain area. His first skill also deals AoE damage in large areas. His ultimate is useful as it is a dash CC. Stay away from walls and be careful of his first skill as it can deal a lot of damage. Build counters, Divine Glaive and Malefic Roar work well. For hero counters, I suggest Minsitar, Alpha and Expo. Next up is Hylos. Hylos is the hero with the highest HP in Mlbb. Hylos is very versatile as his ultimate increases the speed of allies and slows enemies. And his second skill is a slow nightmare. For build counter, I recommend Divine Glaive, Malefic Roar, Sea Halberd. And for heroes, I recommend heroes who can dish out high damage like Leslie and Eudora. Next up is Uranus. Uranus is a unique hero with unique passive. Uranus gets stronger each time you hit it. To counter Uranus, burst damage works well. For the build counter, I recommend Necklace of Durance and Sea Halberd to reduce regen from Uranus passive. For the hero counter, I recommend Leslie, Claude, Esme and Lapu Lapu. Next up is Balric. Balric is a nightmare for heroes who deal damage over time. You can counter Balric with burst damage. For builds, I recommend Oracle and Blade Armor. You can also use Immortality. For hero counter, I recommend continuous magic damage heroes like Lunox, Valir, Lilia and Alpha works well. Next up is Kufra. Kufra, our bold nightmare of all dashing or blink heroes. Kufra is fun to play and nightmare to face, but I am here to teach you how to counter him. Kufra can easily be countered if you manage to cancel his second skill. For build counters, I recommend items like Divine Glaive, Malefic Roar, Demon Hunter Sword, Genius Wand or Glowing Wand. For heroes, I recommend Chow to play football in ML and Wally to roast the ball. Next up, Baksha. Baksha is probably the tank with the highest mobility other than Layla. Baksha is a unique hero who can chase, escape, damage tank CC. Baksha, while being mobile, also has high damage over time due to his ultimate. For build counter, I recommend the usual penetrating items like Malefic Roar, Demon Hunter Sword, Divine Glaive. For hero counters, I recommend Leslie, Alpha, Dairoth and heroes who can deal high damage to finish him up. Next up is Glue. Glue can climb on you and reposition you wherever he wants, and his skills make him unkillable. To counter Glue, using burst or AoE damage heroes will shut him down. For build counter, penetrating items and anti-heal items like Sea Halberd works well. For heroes, I recommend heroes like Vexana, Faramis and Lunox for their AoE damage. Vexana works wonder against Glue's splits. Next up is Edith. Edith can be whatever you want really. She's a tank, she's a marksman, she can CC you a lot, she can burst you down. She can initiate and defend and deal magic damage. She can also be played in the mid lane if you feel like it. She's one of my favorite heroes, she was also free when she came out. To counter Edith, wait for her to go inside her robot and burst her down when she does so. And dodge her skills and always bob and weave whenever you are against her. For build counters, items like Dominance Eyes to reduce her healing effects and attack speed in ultimate and blade armor to reflect back the damage she deals. For hero counters, Min Sitar to not let her transform and Wally to annoy the F out of her. And at last we have Carmilla. Carmilla is a hero with a unique set of abilities and skills. She can either be played as a tank or support unit. Her ultimate is unique and annoying. To Carmilla, I recommend anti-heal, high burst damage heroes. For build, I recommend the usual penetrating items if she is building a full tank. And buy anti-heal to reduce her healing from her skill 1. What do you guys think? Are these tips useful? Are you finally going to stop Uranus with Sea Halberd? What other role would you like to counter? Please do comment down below. That's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Keep supporting Kazuki Official.